Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Pickleball Wisdom and Wellness podcast. I'm your host, Austin, the Amazon man, Chikatiloff, and today I'm here with a very special guest, Alix Truong, who is a pro pickleballer, also a student athlete, and she is doing a lot of amazing things right now. So I'm super excited to have her on the pod today. Alix, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Austin? Thank you very much for having me on the
Oh,
pod.
fantastic. I'm doing great. So let's dive right into it. Can you give us a day in the life of Alix Truong? I know it's busy, but can you break it down from morning to night? What does it look like?
Yeah, sure. Well, of course, since I'm traveling, it would depend if I'm at a tournament or if I'm at home. Currently, I'm at
Mm-hmm.
home. So,
Okay.
day in the life of Alex Strong at home would be probably to wake up in the morning around 6 to 9 o'clock. It kind of just depends.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
wake up. I like to usually knock out some homework assignments for school. Then I'll catch a good workout in at the gym or at home. Maybe go just take a walk around my neighborhood. Um, by that time, I'm probably hungry. I have really bad metabolism, so I don't eat breakfast.
That's okay.
So by the time I'm done with my workout, I really, really, really like to go and get myself a smoothie from Tropical
Yes.
Smoothie.
Shout out to Tropical Smoothie. You can
Yep.
sponsor both of us. We are
Yeah.
we are tropical smoothie fanatics, but yes, keep going.
That's where all my money goes. But I'll get a smoothie and then I'll grab some lunch, knock out some more homework during the afternoon. My younger brother still goes to school in person, so I'll usually pick him up around the 3 o'clock time frame. But it depends on the day as well, but I'll usually try to have some practice time, either a drilling session or grab a group of four and play some games right after my lunchtime. Pick up my brother, have another workout or drilling session. That's pretty much it. I kind of
Nice.
just go home, knock out some more work, have a nice dinner, and then if I
Okay.
have the time, maybe I'll sit and chill, Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. I love that. Okay, very cool. So I know you're in Virginia, right? So how is the pickleball scene in Virginia? Do you feel like you're able to get pretty good training, or what's the deal there?
It's been a little rough throughout my whole journey. Mostly I go out and I want to drill rather than rec play. Personally,
Hmm.
I think I just get more benefits out of drilling one on one with somebody. So I'll have some local guys, some friends of mine come out and drill with me during the afternoon because they're pretty flexible with their work.
Nice.
But if they're not available, my dad plays at the 5-0 level. And so, it's good enough for me to just go out there and he's very committed to helping me improve. And so we'll find just a private court and hit around a bit. Maybe he'll feed me some balls or we'll do, just some short drills at the kitchen line. We'll play some skinny singles. We like to do singles at the end, and we're very competitive with it. So it keeps drilling pretty fun.
Yeah, shout out to your dad. I got to meet him
Yeah.
in Mesa and
Oh, that's right. You guys
he
played
was
some rec
nice
games.
enough to
Yeah.
drill me. Yeah, he drilled me a couple of times and we played some rec games. So that was super fun. I enjoyed
Yeah.
getting to spend time with him. So I know you mentioned that you're in school right now and you're about to graduate high school. So what does the future look like? Are we doing college or where are we going next?
Yeah. So I've been telling people a lot recently that my life they've changed not only
Mhm.
because of pickleball, but just because of my academic interests, things
Yeah.
like that. So before this past year, I was still going into school in person, public high school.
Hmm.
But when COVID hit, that's when I originally experienced that online environment. And I just thought it was so much better for me. Personally, I liked getting to stay at home, wake up on my own time, and kind of just get through the work at my own pace and not waste any time being lectured in class. That's just not really my style. And so I decided to come home. Well, when they gave us the option to go back, I didn't want to go back. I decided to stay at home. So currently, I am taking classes through the Northern Virginia Community College. And by the time that I graduate public high school this June, I will technically be a year and a half ahead with all my credits that will transfer to George Mason University. which is great. The whole goal is for me to
Yes.
graduate early at this point, to be online. But yes, a degree has always been in the picture for me. My parents have always been super strict about my grades and being successful and all that. But
Mhm.
finding pickleball, I've kind of leaned back a little bit. Like, of course, I consider myself a great student. Like, I'm very on top of all my work. Um, but yes, to answer your question, college is in the picture. I still hope to graduate with hopefully a business management degree while still traveling the country to play pickleball.
That's so cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask what you were planning on studying, but what do you see the benefits to studying business management? Could you relate it to your career in pickleball potentially in the future?
Yeah, definitely. If playing pickleball doesn't work out, I don't ever see myself working a 9 to 5 office job. And so hopefully
Yep.
business management is something like a degree where maybe small businesses in the pickleball world will need some sort of help, or even marketing. Like my past trip to Chicago these past couple of days, I learned a lot about marketing, social media, that kind of thing. And so I've always been interested in the entrepreneurship type of route, but
Yeah.
personally, like, I don't have any good ideas to be an entrepreneur, but
Yes, you do. I know you do.
I'm very intrigued with like business style, and I thought that like management with financials or like real estate side of it, that's
Yeah.
always been an interest of mine as well. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
where I see my studies going.
Very, very cool. So, what would you say some of the biggest challenges are for you being a student athlete on the pro tour and competing against all these people where that's all they're doing, it's their livelihood, and for you, you're trying to balance school as well?
Yeah, well, I just turned 18, and so that's I feel like I'm in kind of a transition period between, being a kid and an adult, and trying to find out what I want to do with my life. And so right now, as an 18-year-old still living at home with my parents, I tell my parents, hey, like let me in for another 4 years at least, give me some time to figure it out. And they completely support me on that. But as a student athlete, I feel like my time isn't as valuable as it could be in like the next couple of years. So I wanted to take advantage of the time that I have right now to pursue pickleball.
Yeah.
But like I said before, like I still want a degree and all that. And so with the online option of college and high school, like it's super sweet to have that flexibility. And it is tough sometimes. Like I have to be on top of all my work and attend to emails that my professors are sending out, and I've always been a diligent student and I have like a fear of deadlines. So if somebody wants me to have something done by Monday, like I will get it done.
Mhm.
But I it's not that difficult when I know that playing pickleball is what I love to do, and I'm willing to put in the work there. And so if that's the fun part of it, so to speak, then education is the hard part, and you just put them together, and that's kind of my equation to success there.
Nice. So, do you feel like being a student athlete for several years, because you played tennis before pickleball, right? So, you've been balancing sports in school for a while. Do you feel like it's made you more efficient and productive and better with time management skills over time, or what?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've played tennis since I was maybe like 5 or 6 years old, as well as soccer, volleyball, and a bunch of other sports. And I've always been pretty athletic. But before
Hmm.
pickleball, playing all these other sports, I didn't know what it was really like to love a sport. I never played
Yeah.
tournaments, or I wasn't willing to go out to practice these sports. And but I've always known that I've loved the athletic field, and so that back then I didn't stress about it too much. But then finding pickleball and figuring out that this could actually be a career of mine, I've had to with just practicing, like I have to create a schedule for myself that works with school, getting work done, homework, still having time to talk to my agent or having a social life. So again, I've always been pretty organized and afraid of deadlines. So as long as I set a schedule for myself, I will follow that, and
Okay.
that's definitely helped me more with time management. Um, that's I guess that's day to day. But if you're
Hmm.
talking long term, like the months or the years, I actually have right now on me my calendar. Not many people know this,
Oh, let's see it. Yeah.
but I love paper calendars
Me
still. So
too. Yeah, let
yeah,
me
so
show mine right here. It's
yeah,
so
yeah,
nice.
yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
I live out of this thing. It's
Yeah, so I'll
yeah.
like mark down when my travel days and when
Yep.
yeah, literally everything. It's all in this little notebook.
Nice. So you're old school like me. I love that.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk to you a little bit about dating within the pickleball world because this is a topic that's been really popping lately, and I want to know what your take is
Okay.
on the whole thing because there are many pickleball couples already existing. I know there's new ones forming, so I've heard. So what's your take on all this?
That is so funny that you asked. Um, I think pickleball dating is interesting. I mean, I'm only 18 and
Yeah.
I don't like to consider myself being an expert on dating, but
You're still figuring it out like us all, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not a priority of mine to be honest. So, like
Sure, sure, sure.
personally, I don't think I care too much for it, but yes, it would be cool to date somebody in the pickleball world. I have
Yeah.
before. Um,
Okay, okay,
and I'm a fan of like long distance friendships and relationships. Like I like
okay.
having my personal space and
Yeah.
obviously traveling for pickleball. You're good like you're in Florida and I have friends in California and Texas. Like they're everywhere. So I love that friendship, relationship, long distance. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
even mind dating long
Yeah,
distance. Like I love
right.
that.
Right.
And for other people, like on the pro scene at least, like, there's so many cute couples out there, and I think it's
Okay,
adorable
yes.
when they play together. And
Yes,
um,
I agree. Give your top two favorite couples on the tour right
ooh,
now. That's a tough question.
it really is. I love all the couples. I think the first one that came straight to my mind when you asked me the question at first was Lauren and Julian.
Yes,
Like I
yes.
think before when I didn't know them, I thought they were complete opposites, and I had no idea like
Yeah.
how they would mesh together on and off the court. But now I got to know them, and you see them a lot on TV together, and it's adorable. I
It is
love them.
adorable.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree, I agree.
Or even like Yana and Ben. I'm talking about like
Mhm.
the PPA couples,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like they're so cute together.
Yana and Ben are adorable. Yes, I agree, I agree. Okay, and follow-up question, do you have a pickleball crush, Alex?
Do I have a pickleball crush?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now's your chance to shout out that special someone who may
Um,
be in a different state.
I to be honest with you, no, I do not have one at the moment. I'm
Fair.
huge fans of pickleball, guys, I would say.
Yeah.
But I don't have a crush, so to speak. I feel
Okay.
like something happened with me with a guy, and ever since then I've been kind of cut off.
Hesitant? Yeah, yeah. No, I understand that. Okay.
But I like entertaining things. It's very,
Absolutely.
I'm a friendly person. I feel like people approach me a lot and like
Yeah.
have conversations, meet new people. So I get a lot of DMs on Instagram, but
Yes, she does. I'm sure she does. That's awesome. That's
other than
awesome.
that, I'm kind of just like, oh, like let's have fun. We can be friends. Like I love that. It's a part of the pickleball community.
Okay. Okay, since you mentioned that, it just sparked something within my brain. So how do you deal with all the DMs? I'm not just talking about guys sliding in the DMs. How do you deal with all the attention as far as like social media and just people reaching out to you, because as you're growing your following and your brand and you're increasing in popularity, like how do you stay grounded and still remember, where you came from and how do you stay humble and deal with all that and not get lost in the sauce, so to speak?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't really feel like have grown out of that initial phase. It's obviously incredible to see how much of a following, not only somebody like me can get, but just other athletes in general. And so,
Mhm.
when I first started playing pickleball, I honestly think that I was one of the first, if not the first kid to create like a pickleball account. Like I had my personal page and then I went off to create
Oh,
alixtrunk.pb, and then I
yeah.
saw more people doing that. So I honestly think I was one of the first. But
Trendsetter.
I mean, I started out with like 100 followers and it went to 500, 1,000,
Yep.
2,000. Now I'm around like 33. And so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
super cool to see. And I think that I'm a very relatable person to all the people who do follow me. And
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
consider that like a cocky thing. Like I
No.
still very much interact with everybody who wants to message me, whether it's about um, like having like a fan, or if you want to reach out
Mhm.
about partnerships, or
Yeah.
just I really love seeing like the positive comments on social media, which is awesome. But then you
Yes.
also have like the trolls on social media.
Right.
So recently too, I've picked that up that I have people who support me or on all sorts of social media platforms, including friends and family. And then
Mhm.
there are certain people who will say certain things in your comment section or even in your DMs. But
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel
I'm
like,
aware of that. Yeah.
yeah, like it's very interesting to go about, but as an athlete, my main focus is to, to go out and play pickleball and keep training and do my thing on the court. And I have
Hmm.
people off the court to help me with my off court training, like mental training and
Cool.
social media training, like all of that. Like I have people in my corner to help me out, and so I feel like it's not too big of a deal to look through all that social media stuff. Like I feel like I'm very into it. I like posting a
Yeah.
lot. I like creating certain reels and having a nice aesthetic on my Instagram feed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's fun to me, but it's not that important to the street. Like if Instagram went away, like it sucks to
Hmm.
not have people following you who don't really get to see you at tournaments. But at the same time, like that's pickleball playing is my
Yeah.
focus.
And honestly, just from my view, all your stuff comes across as very genuine in who you are. And I think that's why people are able to connect to you and they enjoy following what you're doing, right? Because I feel like there's lots of people who try to put masks on and try to put out content that they think people really want to see. But if it's just you putting out what you really want and want to convey to your audience, then a lot of times you're going to attract the right people and then it comes off as way more authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. So you also mentioned at one point how you're kind of building your own team in the sense of you have somebody helping with your social media, mental coaching. So how has that kind of evolved over time for you and when did you start to realize that okay, it's important that I consider how I can help my mental training, my physical training, obviously the pickleball drilling and things like that. How has that kind of come together over the past couple of years that you've been playing?
Yeah, so when I first started playing, I had only played mixed doubles, and that was with my dad.
Uh-huh.
And my whole life, he's my dad. He's grown up with me, and so he's always been my coach and I guess my legal assistant and my manager. And so
Hmm. Hmm.
he's always going to be there. Um, but since turning 18, I can sign my own contracts now and everything. But he does review
Yes.
that, so he's definitely still like my manager, my coach, and my legal assistant. But I feel like I have a very tight circle. I'm a kind of a private yet public person, but I don't like to necessarily let so many people in when if I can't trust them. And pickleball, it's recently too with all the tour drama, like it's a dog eat dog out world out there. And so
It is. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm very careful about like who supports me and is willing to help me with all my on and off court training. So
Yeah.
over time, I've realized, or like good examples are like Anna Lee, Catherine, Tyson. Like they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
like a whole team, and they can afford to have that whole team, like trainers, like mental coaches, literally everything. And so that's something that I definitely want. But I feel like I also am very picky. So obviously,
Yeah.
like me and you being on Team Hype, like we share an
Yeah.
agent, which is really awesome, and I
Yeah.
love my agent to death. But also with maybe social media, like the APP tour team, all the staff up there, like they're super supportive and sweet, and they have my best interest at heart. And so that team is outstanding as well.
Mm.
And then I was just talking about having like a photographer. Like I want a set photographer or videographer to help me get content. So just
Nice.
like little pieces like that that I could totally find somebody to hire or
Yeah.
somebody who's just willing to help me out in those aspects. But maybe I'll have like an Alix Truong Nation at some point. You never know.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Yeah, you got to dream big, right? But I think it's very wise of you that you're already starting to form this kind of team of support around you because I think in the next several years, you're going to see more and more pros that are having the trainers travel with them and then maybe hiring personal chefs. As more money gets poured into the sport, that's just where it's going to go naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be very cool to see. So, next question, I want to ask you, how has pickleball helped you grow as a player, but also a person?
Ooh. I think when people have conversations with me, they wouldn't really assume that I'm only 18. And
Definitely
I
not.
think
Yeah.
when it comes to talking about who I am as a person through pickleball, I think the number one that comes to mind is probably independence and or maturity.
Hmm.
I've always been pretty independent. Like I've always been on top of my finances and I don't like okay, so my mom's an accountant and my dad's an attorney, and so when
Cool.
those 2 worlds collide, they are very on top of me about life
I'm
skills and
sure.
life
I'm
things.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've always considered myself to be extremely street smart, and
Mm.
I am book smart, I'm just not extremely book smart because I don't really care.
You're not as passionate about it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
like I'm not gonna go sit down and read a book, but anyway, like I've learned independence and maturity through just traveling by myself and finding my way through an airport. Little things
Yep.
like that. Being very aware of my surroundings is something that I've been always been pretty good at, but I'm also learning more as I'm stepping into the real world by myself and having to find the right people to trust to help take care of me and um, just making sure I'm always in safe situations. And so like or even like interviews like this, like having open conversations with people, knowing what to say, what not to say, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm only 18 and I'm going to continue to learn and I want to learn more. And so I think being around a community that's older and people being around people who have that life experience, like I'm learning from different people from all walks of life, which is super cool.
That is really cool. It sounds like you're really embodying that student of life mindset, which I try to do every single day because there's so much to learn from other
Right.
people. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are older than us. We're both young. So take that knowledge from people who have made mistakes in their past and they've learned from it. So we don't have to make the same mistakes, right? I think
Right.
that's a beautiful thing. Okay. So to wrap it up here, I have a couple of rapid fire questions. So I'll
Okay.
just ask you a couple questions and then you just kind of tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first one is, what's your favorite meal post tourney if you're ravenous?
Ooh, kava.
Oh my gosh, I love kava. I'm so
Kava is
glad you
so good.
brought it up.
I have
I've
it.
been smacking kava lately.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I get it so often here at home with my dad after practices.
Oh my gosh, that's delicious. Okay, so we have to dive a little bit deeper into this. What's in your kava bowl?
Okay. I do half arugula, half
Yeah.
brown rice. I
Nice.
usually get a scoop of extra brown rice for the carbs. I really like their chicken or lamb,
Yeah.
and I'll go maybe like a red pepper hummus, eggplant,
Mm.
and harissa. I get all the toppings except
All
for
of them.
feta cheese
Okay.
and cucumbers. I don't like cucumbers.
I'm not a cucumber fan either.
Olives are like a hit or miss sometimes for me. Kind of just depends. And then pita crisp and anything spicy that goes with
Yes.
Mediterranean food I love.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, what
Mediterranean
about you?
food's
I want to know
great.
this. I'm very curious.
All right, so recently I've been doing the saffron rice with
Okay.
lentils, and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then sometimes I'll get arugula or a green in there. I'll get the honey harissa chicken, and then with like sweet potatoes, and sometimes I'll do their like roasted vegetables, and then I'll
Mhm.
get like a lot of their toppings, like you said, and then I've been doing the crazy feta sauce and the
Okay.
tzatziki. It's a good
Yeah.
combo. The sauces there, I think, are what levels them up from like a Chipotle or some of these
Yeah,
other
they
bowl
have so
places.
many
You know what
different
I mean?
flavors.
Yeah, there's just so
Yeah.
much flavor packed into one bowl. So I definitely appreciate all the
Kava's so
nutrients, but
good.
all the flavor too. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. All right. So next one, what artist do you jam out to the most while you're working out, getting that pump?
Ooh. I have a variety of artists. When I'm
Yeah.
getting pumping, it's definitely like hip hop,
Yeah.
rap
Yeah.
music,
For
something
sure.
motivational. So motivational and dissing, I tend to listen to Eminem.
Eminem. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. That's funny. Okay. Awesome. And then since you're a student, what would you say your best subject has been in school throughout the years?
Sports med.
Sports, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I've always been interested in the sciences, and something that not too many people in the pickleball world know about me is that ever since the fourth
Ah.
grade, I've until last year, I wanted to be an orthodontist, and so I've
Oh,
always signed up for all the science and medical classes, and so I've always been pretty good at biology and chemistry, and then taking the sportsman class, like that was pretty
yes.
cool, and getting into pickleball and learning
That
about my muscles and bodies, injuries, preventions, things like that. So I
ah,
really
there's so much carryover, obviously, when you're an athlete too, and you're talking
yeah,
to a future sports med doc himself. So
exactly.
yeah,
Kyle
I'm
Fracture and
I'm on that
everything.
I'm on that wave for sure. Okay, last one. What's your go-to celly after you've won like a really tough point, a grinder? What are we
Ooh.
doing? Are we doing a come on with a fist pump? Are we
It's a
just
big
smiling?
come
Are we
on usually. I
yeah?
think I side more with come on than let's go.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
when I say yeah on the court, it
Yeah.
comes out as yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So
I say.
my
Yeah.
mouth is like always open like this in pictures, and I it's so
Yeah.
fun. Like, all my intense action photos are like
That's hilarious. So you had to make the little switch there. So, oh my gosh. So you couldn't see the uvula in the pictures, right? That's so funny. That's hilarious. See, that's the kind of tips that you get when you have like an agent or somebody that's like managing your social media, right? The things that you don't always think about.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
very, very, very cool. Well, Alix, thank you so much for coming on the pod. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure
thank
talking to
you.
you, and I look forward to seeing you at another tourney very soon.
Definitely.